In the last video that I made, I showed how to make an easy, no mixer required homemade pizza dough. So in this video, I'm gonna be making two pizzas. One I'm gonna make in a conventional oven, and the other I'm gonna make on the Blackstone Indoor E-Series electric griddle. The issue that I've had with making homemade dough and using it on the Blackstone E-Series is transferring the pizza that's already made to the Blackstone, because the dough is just so floppy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay the dough on the Blackstone, start getting it heated up, and just top it while it's already on the griddle. Both pizzas are gonna be identical, and I'll top them with pizza sauce, mozzarella cheese, and Italian sausage. First, I'll poke some holes in my dough. Put on my sauce. Put on my mozzarella. And then some sausage. This pizza is going to go into the oven at 350 degrees. And I'm going to heat my Blackstone up to 330 degrees. This isn't the first time that I've tried the homemade pizza on the Blackstone, and I haven't had a ton of success with it, but I keep trying and refining the way that I do it as far as adjusting the temperature, just to try to see if I can get it a little better. So while that's heating up, I'll do the same thing and apply some sauce to this pizza. Next, I'll put on my cheese. And finally, my sausage. I'm going to close the hood, let it cook for about 5 minutes, and then I'll probably turn it. Let's check the progress of our Blackstone pizza. Crust is starting to get kind of crisp, so I'm going to turn this about 1/4 of a turn. Close it up and let it go for a few more minutes. It's time to turn the Blackstone pizza one more time, and I want to have a look at the crust. Yeah, it's coming along pretty nicely. So let me go about another 1/4 of a turn. Okay, my Blackstone pizza has now been going for half an hour. And most of the cheese is pretty melted. The crust is not very dark. It is still a little bit doughy on the top, but I really think I need to go ahead and pull this off at this point. So let me get it off of here, and we'll compare the two pizzas. The pizzas have cooled down enough that I can handle them. So here are the results. The first thing that really strikes me about the pizza that I cooked in the conventional oven is the fact that the cheese got somewhat golden brown. Whereas on the Blackstone pizza, that didn't really happen. The crust on the conventional oven pizza, it's definitely done, whereas the Blackstone crust, if you like doughy crust, I guess it would be okay, but it really needs to go a little bit longer. And if you're wondering why I only set the Blackstone at 330 degrees, it's because I have tried several pizzas on the Blackstone, and I really haven't gotten the results that I wanted. And I found when I set it at 350 or higher, because it took longer to cook the pizza, the bottom of the crust didn't necessarily get burnt, but it got really, really hard, while the top of the crust still stayed kind of doughy. But for pizza, the Blackstone really suffers from not having a heating element above it to get the top of the crust done and the cheese as done as I would like. While the cheese is mostly melted, it didn't come together like the one in the conventional oven. And if you've seen my other Blackstone videos, you know that I love the Blackstone. But there are some things that the Blackstone just doesn't do as well as other appliances like the oven. I'll cut into these and I'll show you what the crust looks like on each pizza. Whenever I cooked a frozen pizza in the Blackstone, I think it did much better than on the homemade crust. So the bottom of the crust looks good. It's firm. It's a little bit on the hard side, but it's not too bad. Not near as hard, but done. And there's a side-by-side of the two pieces. Since I've tried cooking pizza on the Blackstone several different times now, without the success that I wanted, I probably won't do it again, because not only does it take longer, but it just doesn't work out as well. And I really hate heating up the house, especially in the summertime, to cook pizza in the conventional oven, but I think in the end it's actually worth it. Now, if you're going to cook something like the tortilla pizzas, that's a whole different ball game. But when you use a thicker crust like these, I just don't think the Blackstone does quite as good of a job. It's still going to be edible, but I just don't think it's going to be as good. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. As always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.